Hello folks, it's that Tassie Wargamer here with Darren and John again. This week we are playing Chain of Command. Rather than doing a scenario from the book, we just decided, or John came up with a great idea of having one main road down the middle of the table where one force would have to get transport vehicles and any armour they've selected off the table, and the other force would be ambushing, or at least trying to intercept them. So once we set the table up, we sort of decided, well, this is sort of fits the Falais Gap. So this is after we rolled. I rolled first to see that I was going to be doing the movement of through down the table, and John was going to be intercepting. Rolled again. I was German and John was Allied. So I've selected standard German here, and John is with British. I have gone for a standard platoon, and we decided we'd take 15 points each of support. I have gone nice and simple, 3 Panzer IIIs. I'm thinking that if this was the sort of the Falais Gap and they're really trying to escape, the armour are just going to be motoring through. So I've got the 3 units of infantry, it may be too small, who knows, and the 3 Panzers. And I've also got some trucks, I was giving them free. I can load up infantry if I want to, but they are just going to try to get off the table. John, so when we went for deployment, for patrol, John had 3 markers coming on here, 3 markers coming on here, but that anywhere from that down that end of the table, that edge of the table. I had 4 that had been spread out along here. We moved up. I've got a jump off point here and a jump off point here. John could select 2 out of his 4, so he's got 1 here and 1 here actually that's in the barn. And he also got to select another one anywhere on the table. So very cunningly, John has selected a jump off point right down here behind my lines, which you imagine, that's what would have happened. There would have been, we've obviously walked past them, we've missed his location, or they're coming on the table. So his ambush may work very well. John, what were your additional support? So you've got your standard platoon, you've got a tripod.
I've got a Vickers machine gun on a tripod, 5 crew. I've got 2 Piat teams with 2 crew each.
Yep.
I've got a universal carrier with a team and a junior leader, and a 17 pounder.
That 17 pounder is going to come in very handy.
It is.
Yeah.
If I get it in the right place.
We had pretty low rolls on the for our force morale. John's on 8. And I am on 9. Here's some lovely 20mm stuff, or John's 20mm. That's one of his Panzer IIIs. I know some shops they say please don't bring in the little flags, but this is realistic. We have got this one of my platoon. One of my squads here, and the other squad has come from over here, so they're just doing a bit of a flanking not flanking, but just moving along in line, try to support my armour, which is going to need plenty of support. And John's starting to mobilise now. He's put some of his guys, looks like he's putting them straight into Overwatch as they're arriving on the table. Very smart. We'll keep you informed. John rolled a double 6, so he's getting another go. It was quite a productive turn on his first one. Phase. He deployed a Piat team, and look, they're only there because he hasn't put them in the building. They deployed to that window with an open view to my vehicle there. He got 2 hits on me. With my 5 armour save, I didn't manage to save anything, and as a result I took 2 points of shock, and the vehicle is immobilised for the rest of the game. So I've got a very expensive field gun basically. From now, I've got an officer in there, so I'm going to have to relay some shock at some point as well. My guy's moved up to the wall here, so that Piat, I might have to deal with him.
Yeah.
Which is what my infantry are for. And I think John's also deployed another Piat over here as well, hiding behind the barn. Cowardly. and he's got his machine gun team deployed as well here as Vickers, so they're covering his flank quite nicely. Not a good start for the Germans. Let's see how it goes. Cursing. Game's going really well. Another great game today. I think you saw last time that John had knocked out that tank. I've managed to bring on another Mark III. That team that I had up here were getting hit by a section that John had deployed into here. So they ran round the other way to this building. Unfortunately, only my machine gun team got in the door. My rifle team was stuck outside, and they started getting hit by John's Vickers, who was on Overwatch. Luckily, they didn't get too badly damaged. The next turn, I decided rather than sending them into the building, they were going to run for cover into the field. It wasn't until they got into the field that it dawned on me that that's where John's jump-off point was. So they moved into contact with the jump-off point, and then I had enough chain of command points to end the turn. So John's lost that jump-off point. He rolled, and he's lost 1 point off his force morale. His Piat team is still up in that window, even though they're up there, they're in that window, still firing at these tanks. My machine gun team is in there, as I said before, in there, and they're actually at the window at the other end, and they're putting covering fire onto that team as well, or they've just dropped now because of the turn end, but they were putting covering fire, which allowed my rifle team to move. And I've got another rifle team here. I only rolled once, I couldn't get the whole squad moving, I just got the rifle. They came in from there, and they're moving to hopefully try to do something with John's other jump-off point here too, which will leave him with 1 jump-off point. He's still got a lot off the table though, I think, so he's got a few units in buildings. If I can get some tanks on, it could make a difference. Just videotaping again.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Game's going along nicely. As you can see, a couple of destroyed tanks here. I think last time I showed you, this tank had moved. He finally managed to get across the wall here, but John's 17-pounder down the road fired and managed to destroy him. So there he is lying on his side. I managed to end a turn again, so I've taken John's deployment point was here. So he is now into 3 chain of command, 3 orders dice. I managed to throw back John's unit that had been coming up through here. The Universal Carrier hasn't done an awful lot actually. He's sort of been a little bit sitting around. I think John has a unit in, no unit there. He's got a unit in this building here and a unit in this building here. I haven't been able to roll many 1s and 2s to be able to get all 3s to be able to get my tanks. I've still got a tank off the table, and I can't because I haven't got an adjutant now and my senior's on. I've had to roll for it and it failed. I'm slowly bringing a truck on every time I roll a 4. Here's my senior leader. He's moving with a machine gun team who is separated from the rifle team, and they're going to try to get across here to deal with the threat of losing a jump-off point. So John's down to 3 on his dice. I am down to 5, and if I lose that jump-off point, chances are I'll be down to 3 as well, and the game will end up getting a bit slower. Game's coming to a close very shortly. I've managed to keep 1 tank alive, and he was peppering away at a unit here. That unit got to here. John managed to end the turn and remove my jump-off point. He's got a senior leader here who's more than 4 inches away from that unit behind him because that unit was just wiped out. So I tried getting some shots in with my machine gun.
He's actually a junior leader.
Senior.
No,
junior leader.
He's only a junior.
Oh, he was a junior leader. Sorry, junior leader, not senior. He's all that's left of that section or that squad.
There's a senior leader
there. There is a senior leader there too, with the Vickers. The trucks, which were coming on rolls of 4 and then moving 3d6. With sort of the question was, should they just be driving on past this 17-pounder? And I guess at some point when they were just trying to get out of the Fallet Gap at any cost, they might have been directed to, who knows, might have been directed to just go and don't stop for anything. And luckily, I don't know what's happened to them. I think they might be into the schnapps because they haven't been firing very much as the trucks have been rolling past. Too late. I've been thinking I needed to roll this. I needed a 1 to get these guys moving, and only just now I've realised that I had a junior leader with them, and they could have been on a 3 or a 1. So actually, or a 2 because there are still sections. They have the senior leader with them, junior leader with them. So they've done nothing, but that's okay. John's Universal Carrier here has been having a go at these guys, but they've been doing all right. They've managed to move tactically, and they are just trying to get in to cause a bit of mischief behind John's lines. John's down to 2 command dice. I'm down to 3 command dice. I think we'll be over very soon. And the game is over, folks. It really came down to a battle of attrition. I ended up with 2 force morale points, and John just got down to
0.
Not there, but he got 0, so nothing left on there. The reason being is because my senior leader with that machine gun, that really they were detached from their section from their squad very early, and operating on their own, while their rifles were over here taking that jump off point. These guys here, after getting a fair few hits or destroying a section, also got some really good hits onto this team here, as well as a Piat team, and that Piat team got destroyed. John rolled and lost his last point on that. The trucks are rolling through. We chose not to make them any part of even though the battle was going on around them. Whether or not they got off the table, there were no additional points. It was just a bit of fun to see them rolling through. But yeah, eventually John's morale was broken, so they would have started retreating and probably started left some of their weapons behind, and allowed the Germans to escape through the narrow gap, probably only buying a bit of time before the fallow gap closed totally. Another great game. Again, it was a bit of a homebrew scenario. We're finding the homebrew scenario is the best, where we set the table up and then just sort of go, right, what do we think would happen? It worked really well. The tanks, put all my eggs in one basket by using my 15 points for the tanks. So we just agreed that we'd have 15 points per side, rather than just the normal 10 or 11. These 2 got destroyed really easy, but this one managed to hold up fairly well. The trick is, I guess, even though I brought them on the road, but then kept them on the road, I should have used that 6-inch deployment to be out here somewhere, and not stay on the road where they were easy pickings for a Piat and the 17-pounder. Another great game. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I think we're getting our tables looking pretty good. Thanks for watching. See you again next week, and it will no doubt be Chain of Command yet again. Goodbye for now.